Hello friends and welcome. Today's video we're going to be talking about some products that have been newly released at the drugstore. I really love testing out new products from the drugstore because they're much more affordable obviously and if they're really good then who needs to even go shop the high-end side, although I'm a sucker for both, so can't say anything about that. My apologies in advance if I talk fast. I'm trying to make this video not be an hour long, so bear with me and hopefully you find this video super helpful. I'm going to show you guys me applying each of the products on my face and we're going to talk about my thoughts. I've used each of these a couple times now, so I'm starting to get an idea of my thoughts on it, but of course I'll keep you updated as well if anything changes. With that being said, if you are new here, hi, my name is Jackie. What am I doing with my hands? Hi, my name is Jackie and I'm a little awkward, but welcome to my channel. If you do enjoy today's video, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below and thumbs up as well if you like the video. Let me know what else you might like to see. Anyways, let's just dive right into the makeup. So I want to start by talking about these brushes that I've used today. Just a couple face brushes as well. This is the BH Cosmetics Weekend Vibes Brunch Bunch brush set. It was with 11 brushes and it's for like $28 at Ulta. I really like these brushes. First of all, look at this packaging. It's so cute. It's like peach handle with this little rose gold metal part right here. They're so soft and they apply the product really, really well. They pick up just the right amount and they effortlessly blend it out. So I'm a big fan of these brushes and they're making me want to try some more BH Cosmetic brushes. So next up is the brow product I used today, and that is the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. This is in the shade Brunette. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I was super skeptical of this product. I've been really hesitant to try any of these kind of like pen brow type products because I was scared that number one, I would be terrible at applying it, and number two, that it would not look good at all. But oh my gosh, I'm like in love with the way my brows look right now. And today was the first time I've ever used this. This is the only one that I haven't used multiple times. Today was the first time, like I said, because I was scared. But I'm so impressed and I'm definitely going to keep using this because my brows look so natural. I feel like you can't really tell that I used a brow product unless you know what my brows look like beforehand. I'm thoroughly impressed. Definitely excited about this guy. Next is the Milani Skin Quench Hydrating Primer with hyaluronic acid and coconut water. So this guy claims to be a hydrating and blurring primer. Creamy lotion texture, natural finish, enhanced with hyaluronic acid and coconut water to blur imperfections for all skin tones and extend makeup wear. I'm kind of iffy on this product, to be quite honest. I mean, it does blur. Like, I think my skin looks super nice right now. I don't think it really hydrates. If you look at the texture while I'm applying it, it is very lotiony, which it says, but it kind of almost feels like you're putting sunscreen on your face, in my opinion. Like, it doesn't really feel like my skin is taking a drink of water or anything like that, so I don't really notice it being super hydrating, and I'm someone who tends to lean more on the dry side, so your girl likes hydrating products, but she also wants to look blurred, so I'm going to keep testing this out, but as of right now, I'm kind of like, it blurs and it's really nice, but I'm definitely not going to use it when I need super hydrating primer. For foundation today, I used the new Physcians Formula Butter Believe It Foundation and Concealer. So this guy right here says that it's an ultra luxurious foundation and concealer infused with a powerful blend of Maru butter, Capachu butter, you know I'm pronouncing all these wrong, Tukuma butter from the lush, nutrient-rich Amazon. It's incredibly creamy texture, melts into skin, leaving a natural, radiant, glowing complexion. Long-wearing, weightless formula provides buildable medium to full coverage. I don't really love this. It's okay. Like, I think it does the job of definitely being medium to full coverage, definitely buildable. It's pretty close to full coverage, but if you look closely, you can see a little bit of my freckles and stuff on my cheeks still, but it does not, I don't think it's weightless. I definitely feel like I can feel it on the skin, especially if I use a brush. So if you want to try this out, I would recommend using a sponge to apply it because it definitely feels a little bit better on the skin with a sponge. Every time I've used a brush, I've hated the way it looks. Today, I'm like, okay, it looks all right. It doesn't look bad. I used a sponge today, but every time I've used a brush, I've been like, ugh, get it off. So I don't know. Last I checked too, they have a terrible shade range for this. I've only seen 4 shades on Ulta and 4 shades at Walmart, which is where I purchased it. So I'm not really sure if that was just like, that's all they had in stock or what. So I'm going to have to look into that. But this is in the shade Light, by the way. Next up is the Wet n Wild Megalast Incognito All Day Full Coverage Concealer. I use the shade Fair Beige. So I really, really like this. I will say it isn't, I don't think it's full coverage. I think it's medium coverage, but buildable, because you can still kind of see my dark circles a little bit peeking through when I apply it. But if I just add like a tiny dot more on top, then it looks a lot better in my opinion. But the great thing about this is it has a lot of great ingredients in it, and it is really hydrating. Like it feels very cooling under the eyes. And I really like that. I'm definitely a big fan of this concealer and will keep using it for sure. Next up is these little cuties. These are the new e.l.f. Bite-Size Face Duos, which I was really excited about trying because number one, this is $3. And number two, the Bite-Size eyeshadow palettes are super, super good. Like they are super buttery, creamy, like very nice eyeshadows. So this one right here is in the shade Watermelon. This guy is the shade Spiced Apple, and this is in the shade White Peach. I will say all the highlighters seem a bit dark, so if you are very fair-skinned, like even lighter than me because I'm pretty light these days, you might have a hard time finding a highlighter that works for you. Overall, I think these are good. I don't think they're great. I don't think they're as good as the eyeshadow ones that they came out with. The blushes are really nice. I will say that the blushes are they're pretty pigmented, so going with a light hand. But they blend out really effortlessly. The colors look really nice. Today I used the blush from the White Peach palette and then a little bit of the one from the Spiced Apple on top just to take down the orangey shade a little bit, make it a little more neutral. And then I used the highlighter from the Watermelon palette. Like I said, I think they're okay. The blushes are definitely better than the highlights. The highlights, they're not like ba-bam in your face highlight. They're more kind of like that subtle lit from within look, not as much as the Essence Pure Nude highlight, if you're familiar with that. It's not that subtle. It still is like a good highlight. It's just not like, bam, glow on the cheek. So if you want like super metallic-y bright highlight, this is not for you. But if you like more of an effortless, subtle highlight, you'll really like these. For the eyes today, I tested out the Wet n Wild Color Icon 10-pan palettes. This one is the shade Heart and Soul, and then this one right here is Call Me Sunshine. I think they have like 4 or 5 different shade ranges for these. They're super cute. I really wanted to test them out because they're only like $6 and you get 10 shades. I think these are super nice. Again, kind of comparing to the e.l.f. Bite-Size shadows, I think those are a little bit more creamy and buttery. But I think these are a close second, especially because you're paying $6 for 10 shades instead of $3 for 4 shades. So I guess it's kind of a better deal. But the mattes blended out really, really nicely. They are very pigmented. I mean, they're easy to build up. You don't feel like you're really blending it away, because I feel like sometimes you can find shadows that if you keep blending too much, then you just lose all the pigmentation. I don't find that to be a problem with these guys. I've used these palettes a couple times now. I absolutely love the shade in the middle of the bottom row, this guy right here in the Heart and Soul palette. It's like a peachy gold duochrome. So pretty. Same with this guy right here that I used on the inner corner. Like, it's a beautiful champagne, so soft, so creamy, so buttery. The only shade that I've used so far that I don't love is this guy right here. I wanted this to go all over the eye, but I feel like it's probably going to be better to be used as like a toppery, glittery shade. Like, it looks nice on camera right now, but I kind of have to dig in, and like if you look at the swatch, you can't really see it. It kind of just looks more like glitter. So I don't know if that was what it's intended to be. If so, then I think it's going to be a beautiful little glitter topper. But if it was intended to be a nice shimmer like these other ones, then it's a little lackluster. But other than that, I think these are great palettes. Definitely check them out. They're $6 and you get really nice eyeshadows. So I can't complain about that. For mascara, I tested out the Loreal Air Volume Megalast Mascara. I know that doesn't sound very positive, but I think this formula is a little too wet for me right now. So I'm going to keep testing it out, especially as it kind of dries out a little bit, because right now it's so wet. Like, you'll see in a clip in a hot minute when I do my setting spray that it just is too wet. It's too wet. Like, I feel like it's not really doing much because it's so wet. It's just kind of getting my lashes black. Like, I mean, if you know me, you know I have like 0 eyelashes. So it takes a lot for a mascara to impress me anyways. I just don't feel like, I mean, you guys can tell. Do I look like I have voluminous lashes? No. You can barely see them. So I'm not super impressed with this guy. I'm hoping I like it more as I let it dry out a little bit, but it is just way too wet of a formula for me right now. Now the last product, last but certainly not least, this is the Physcians formula Butter Believe It Skin Mist. So far, I really, really like this. I think it does a nice job of setting everything down and kind of melting the whole face together. It claims to deliver a radiant, flawless, airbrushed finish. It says it's packed with essential fatty acids and provitamins that soften, condition, and moisturize skin, leaving it silky soft. I definitely agree with that. I mean, I think my skin looks really, really nice. I think it's set down nicely. So far, when I've used this, my makeup has lasted really nicely on the face. So I'm definitely going to keep using this. I'm a big fan of it. The mist is pretty nice too. Like, it's pretty good. I will say, the smell, I am not a huge fan of the Physcians formula smell. I know, highly unpopular opinion. I don't know. The first time I ever smelled the bronzer, I kind of thought it smelled like Play-Doh. I don't know, is that just me? I know, I'm weird. But I will say this, I actually like the smell of it. It kind of smells like coconut, and like, for my 21 and over friends, kind of smells like Malibu rum a little bit. So think like pina colada vibes on the beach. Definitely love the smell of this, so it's going to be nice to have around in the summer. But so far, I really like this. Can't complain. It's super cute. The packaging is adorable, and the mist is really nice. We made it through. Hopefully that wasn't too long for you guys. I'm trying to keep these videos not crazy long. I know you probably don't want to sit here and listen to me talk for an hour. I wouldn't want to listen to me talk for an hour either, to be honest. I don't even like to hear my voice on these videos when I edit them. I worry that that's what I sound like. Yikes. Anyways, that completes today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed learning about some of the new products at the drugstore in case you've been just as curious about them as I have. There definitely were some really great hits, but also a few misses in there. But that's what you get when you try out makeup. And, you know, just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. I'm going to keep working with these and see, you know, if I like anything more later down the road, and I'll keep you updated, or if for some reason something goes terrible and I hate it in a few months, I'll keep you updated. But thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, please hit that subscribe button before you leave and the post notification bell so you're notified every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when I upload a new video. Also hit the thumbs up so I know you enjoy these types of videos learning about new makeup at the drugstore. And comment down below what you might want to see me test out next, or any tutorials or other type of makeup fun videos that you want to see. Definitely check me out on Instagram as well at JSanchez Beauty. But thank you so much for your time. I truly, truly appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!